What's good, y'all? Fusion here, back in another video. And excuse the noise if you do hear it. That's my washer going off because your boy need to wash some clothes. But yeah, I just want to do a quick little mid-season update for the NBA. Just telling you like the standings and as well as what we're looking at, and also what teams to expect to improve and all of the changes having to do with the trades and all that. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. Eastern Conference. If we started as of like today, well, Miami would be first seed, the Bulls second seed, the 76ers third, tied actually with the Cleveland Cavaliers for third and fourth place. The Milwaukee Bucks and Boston Celtics, 5th and 6th, and 7th and 8th, the Toronto Raptors and Nets, as well as not far behind at the 9 and 10 seed for the play-in games, the Charlotte Hornets and the Hawks, and the rest of the East. I really don't see any of these teams showing any sort of improvement. Now, that 10th seed is actually somewhat close with the Washington Wizards and the Knicks, but I really don't see like the Knicks making any sort of push to that 10th seed. So we could be seeing exactly these 10 teams fighting. Maybe that Washington Wizards team, which is actually close behind, like the Hawks. So yeah, this is pretty much what we may see here. Just again, now, a lot of these teams will change like their position as far as first through 10th and 11th. I can see when Kevin Durant gets healthy, as well as if they do make changes with like the vaccine like mandate for Kyrie to play more than half of his games, as well as seeing if like the Ben Simmons trade, does really work out, as well as having more depth off their bench with Seth Curry and Andre Drummond, so they actually may go up a few spots. And same thing can be said about the 76ers as well as the Cavs. So yeah, I think this is the most competitive that the East has been in quite a while. Last year it was definitely like getting there, but I for sure think that this is a really, really good year actually. Tied for first and second, 38 and 21 for the Heat and the Bulls, and as well as tied for third and fourth with the 76ers and Cavs, and not even that far like behind it are like the Bucks as well as the Celtics. So it's very, very deep here. Even as well as the Raptors, it's pretty much a 3-4 game like gap there. So it's very, very close. Now it looks like so far the person ahead for the MVP race is, well, Joel Embiid. He's been hooping, and a sleeper is, well, DeMar DeRozan. He's been balling. He just broke one of Wilt Chamberlain's records, and he's just been hooping, man. So I'm actually happy for him as well as for the Bulls. And it's just fun to see great basketball. I can say in the East, bar the the Pacers, Pistons, and Knicks, even the Wizards, everyone has a shot, except for those three teams. Maybe like the Knicks, they have some things that they really need to like figure out with the Knicks. But yeah, I'm really excited to watch this team, as well as the Nets just got Goran Dragic, another great pass first point guard. So yeah, I'm really excited like to watch this, and hopefully this is a good conference to watch. So that's pretty much everything with the Eastern Conference. Now the Western Conference, Western Conference. Always a deep conference like to watch. Every team is pretty much always a competitive, but it looks like this year you can clearly see who was winning and who was not. These teams right here, they really have no chance. Really have no chance of getting to that eighth spot. Now there could be a conversation to be had about these three teams right here fighting for that 10th seed to do like the play-in tournament, like the Portland Trailblazers, the Spurs, the Pelicans, and even slightly even like the Sacramento Kings, if they do end up playing better. But I'm wondering I wonder what like the Blazers are going to do, because that's one thing that you can never do is count out like Damian Lillard. They're on a 4-game win streak so far, and they're actually right behind my Lakers, who are actually playing really bad. 27 and 31. Just first of all, we're gonna go down in the standings, I do believe, especially since AD is injured. Unless we do get some help or some sort of improvement from Russ. But we're not really looking good. Not really looking good. But we do have Braun. So LeBron is someone also that you really can't like count out. So we may be looking at that play-in tournament again, or even not be in the play-in tournament. So we'll see, man. We will see. Also, the Clippers and the Wolves, they are pretty much 1 game, 2 games like behind each other. Very interesting to see these two teams. I don't think that they're really going to go deep in the playoffs, but I can say I am, as a Lakers fan, I am surprised to see the Clippers playing this well. Especially since they don't have like Kawhi Leonard or Paul George. So happy like for them, I guess. As long as it's not like the Celtics winning, then I'm a happy guy. But the Clippers, I also really don't like the Clippers, but it is also cool to see them playing well, even like without their great players that they do have. The Wolves, I do not really see them going far in the playoffs if they do make it. As of like right now, they would be playing with the Warriors, and I don't think you want to see them in the first round at all. Especially Steph Curry, he is just a killer. Especially in games that really don't matter that much, but lately he's been hitting shots. And if you did watch the All-Star game, you saw what he can do once he gets heated. So yeah, I don't think that's who you really want to see in the first round. And speaking of not really seeing someone, not who you want to see in like the first round as well, are honestly the Grizzlies. So I'm wondering about the Wolves and the Grizzlies, both young teams, but something about that John Morant, someone who has that athletic ability, who has that skill, who has that dog, who can show you what can happen if you do let him run amok. I don't think they really have a chance. But then again, it's also Anthony Edwards, who is also balling, as well as like Big Cat as well. But again, like you never really know. But I do remember that old Grizzlies team with Zebo and Marc Gasol. That was a team that you never wanted to see in like the playoffs because they are a grinded out team. Maybe not so much here, but definitely fun fun team I like to watch, and a team that will sneak up on you and get buckets. I actually did a like video on them, so I will leave that at the end of the video as well, so you can definitely go ahead and check that out. And I do go more in depth with that team, and how great that they are, honestly. Um, but 6 seed, the Nuggets, they got the reigning MVP on that team. But also it's really just like the Nuggets. I don't ever really see them going that far. I just think that there are some things that they need to work on to get over that hump. Excuse me. They would be playing. They would actually be playing the Grizzlies. So my mistake. I accidentally said the Wolves. So the Wolves will be playing against Golden State, and the Clippers will be playing against the Suns, which I'm very interested on what the Suns will do, especially since CP3 is injured point guard. He's out for 6 to 8 weeks, unfortunately, with a thumb or a hand injury. I cannot really remember, but I think it'll be very interesting to watch them play, and see what Cameron Payne can do as the primary point guard, as well as having Devin Booker be someone who has to get his other teammates involved as well. So we'll see with that. I really didn't mention like the Utah Jazz. I don't think that team. I think that team is a great regular season team, like a lot of other teams, but I just don't see them winning a lot of games in the playoffs. And that's no slight on, I can't even think of his name right now. But I just don't think that Rudy Gobert is that good of a player. He's great like defensively, offensively, he's decent, but nowadays a lot of the big men can play that almost play as a 4 or even a 3. So as someone who cannot guard like the perimeter at all, and you push that on him and doing a lot of the pick and roll switches or the pick and pop switches, I just think it makes it hard for him to really play, especially against, they'll be playing against the Mavs, and I do think that Mavs team is scary because of Luka, someone who can just be like, okay, now I'm finna just go for 30 in one quarter or 50 in like the whole game. He's just very dangerous, man, and he's definitely one of those players that, hey, he can ball. And back to the Jazz real quick, I was talking about Donovan Mitchell. His name just came up. I don't think it's a slight on him at all. He's a baller, but since they lost Joe Ingles, who is always a consistent 14, 15 point guy, and is apparently like kryptonite to Paul George, he is gone. So I'm wondering what that team can honestly really do. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that I do want to go over. Actually, I forgot about the Warriors. They are sitting good at the 2 spot without Draymond Green. And I'm actually happy for like the Warriors. I've always liked watching the Warriors play. They are a fun team to watch because they are the embodiment of how basketball should be played. That passing cut, that always moving, that unselfish play. Always fun to watch them. That is peak basketball right there, in my opinion. Maybe not as fun to watch as like the Grizzlies per se, because I just love watching them. But I do think that Warriors team is great, especially since Draymond Green should be back pretty soon. But that's pretty much everything, man. Comment down below on who you think will make it out the West. Who do you think will be in those top 8 seeds? And who do you think will be at the play-in tournaments? But I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and peace.